Welcome back, folks, to more Inquisitor. So I think that's what the name of this game is. I haven't played it in 17 years. Shit. So, what the fuck's been going on with this game? I don't know. Still got my dog, still got Hugo Montesticle. Let's walk around and figure out what the fuck is going on. Sandals and stuff. Hello. Hans von Druckmo.
Hello, knight. What can I do for you? Would you like weapon or armor? Do you have anything to sell?
Yes, I would like to exchange some goody goods. Let's see. Footpad. Oh, I got all these scalps. Yeah. I need to find who the fuck is gonna buy scalps. Where is the sheriff? The sheriff. 100 gold pieces just chilling in the fountain. Gotta love those fountains. Hail to you, good man. Who are you? What do you want?
Sorry to bother you. I was interested in who you might be.
You're interested in who I am? Can you tell me why? Is it any business of yours? Do you think you can come here and ask me questions without me knowing who you are and what you want from me? Well, when you've already asked who we're honored to meet you, I'll tell. My name is Raymond Vitano. When you want to know, yes, you've heard well, Vitano. I'm heir to the ancient House Vitano, who helped to found this city an entire millennium ago.
Nice to meet you, good man. I'm honored to meet a descendant of such a renowned house.
Oh, really? Well, in fact, you're right. Everyone should be honored to meet me. I wish local and so-called nobles realized it too, and granted me the title of Baron that should be mine by right. Without my ancestors who helped to build this city by their own hands, probably none of them would sit here nowadays. However, things will be changed and I'll be respected. You can bet I will.
What do you mean by that?
What do I mean? I mean that a high noble title will be granted to me for my deeds. Who else other than me would deserve it? Just consider what I've done for the future of our realm.
Well, what have you done, if I may ask?
Oh, you'll see soon yourself, knight, I promise. I can't tell you more at the moment. It's a secret, you know.
Oh, I see. Could I ask you a few questions now? Who is the ruler of Glatzberg and the surrounding lands?
Who rules Glatzberg? Why, Grand Dude Robert Hedrick does. Who else should rule here? He's the royal governor of the city. You're interested in who's the vice governor? Duke Rowan van Galligan is. Well, to tell the truth, someone more competent should be given that position. Me, for example. I'll take care of it as soon as I get the title. I'll start as the royal vice governor, and then who knows what the future will bring.
What do you think of the crisis that is spreading throughout the realm?
You want to know what I think about the current situation? Pah! Well, I tell you, I'm not interested much in that. To tell the truth, it's a spiritual question, not a business one, and I'm a businessman. Sure, there are heretics here and so on, but as far as they pose a threat only to my faith and not to my property, I think you should worry about them instead of me. Well, there's someone else. The people in the city tell that the end of the world is coming, but I think that no matter what you're going to call it, it's the time of change that will come. Now we'll see who's prepared and who isn't. No matter what will happen, you could bet on me. I will be prepared. You can trust me. Me!
I'm looking for heretics here in Glatzberg. Do you suspect anyone?
Do I suspect anyone of heresy? Well, if I were you, I'd be careful about Ernie Jingwait. It's not some superstitious fool, but if the woman doesn't flirt with the devil, then every fish can fly. Have you heard about those visions of her? She's said to be able to see what's happening miles away from her, or even what's not happened at all. And as far as those magic potions of hers, she must have some pact with Satan. That's clear.
Do you have any proof?
No, I don't have any, but if you search her house, I'm sure you'll find some forbidden books, occult items, pagan ritual tools, and a lot of other devilment, because of which justice could be satisfied.
I need some of the Chateau de Trebuchet wine. Any idea where I could get a few bottles?
So, you're trying to get Chateau de Trebuchet, knight. I must say, it won't be easy, I'm sorry. It's the most exquisite wine man can get in the realm, and it's very, very expensive. It's imported to Alvaron by sea, from the southern provinces of the Empire, and I doubt any merchant would dare to carry such a precious cargo through the roads of our realm in these days. I haven't seen it being sold here for a long time in Glatzburg. I'm sure you would get it in Alvaron, if you were able to get there alive.
Are there any myths, legends connected with Glatzburg or its surroundings?
Ah, you're trying to get, some myths and fairy tales, eh? Superstitious rumors? They're only good for small children.
Has anything worth mentioning happened in Glatzburg lately?
Yes, many things have happened that I could talk about. For example, the taxes were raised, as well as the duty, toll, and warehousing payments. An absolute disaster. Fortunately, I'm too skilled a businessman to let those obstacles do me too much. Nobody will get my money so easily.
Where can I get supplies here in Glatzburg?
You want to buy some goods? What do you have in mind? Weapons? Armor? In that case, go to Hans von Rittmal. Or do you want potions and magic items? In that case, Henry. Or Paolo. Ventimus might help you. You might also find some usable goods in the shops of Wanda Gelowich or Ludwig Wintram. They're local innkeepers. Or you can go to Alfonso di Cerberio, if you don't mind the origin of his goods.
That's all. Farewell.
You pubescent hair, let me see your goods. My goods? No, I'm afraid you couldn't. I doubt anything I deal with would be useful to you.
Can I ask what you sell?
I make large volume businesses with those articles that are advantageous at the moment. No retail, I'm sorry. Building materials, textiles, carpets.
I understand. Goodbye then. I have no idea what you just fucking said.
Ah, thieves! Low-bred robbers, and there are nothing more cutthroats, wicked footpads. May God forsake them all. I wish someone would catch them and execute them to Oman. They erroneously rob and murder as they like, and nobody does shit about it. That wasn't possible in the days of King Wilhelm. The roads were safe, and footpads were hanging along them like pears.
You told the life was better in the days of King Wilhelm. How can you know it? King Wilhelm died more than 70 years ago.
What? That's utter bullshit, knight. It has been only several winters since King Wilhelm has left us for better world. I have to know it because I attended his funeral.
You attended his funeral? How did you get there? Only a limited circle of the highest-ranking nobles may be present at the funeral of a member of royal family.
Why, I just told you. I was first knight of King Wilhelm, the Bold. Knight?
The first knight. Forgive me for not being able to hide my discomposure, but it's hard to believe your words.
You are probably right, knight. Who would think such a feeble old man is the member of the realm? Am I right? Maybe it really wasn't me. Maybe it was just a dream or a delusion. What really is our past when no one remembers it? Is able to remind or testify to you? Maybe we are all living in lies.
Well, forget about it, good man. Better tell me why you were wailing about your fate so much when I came. Has something evil befallen you?
Sir, it has. I was returning from the visit of Baron Edgar von Huth, and I paid a visit to him to express my condolences to him in the matter of a deceased Father Liam, when I was attacked by some fucking footpads. If I was several years younger, I might have been able to defend myself with sword in my hand, but it's long gone, so they easily overcame me, made fun of me, pulled my pants off, and called me a small wiener head. And instead of killing me and granting me a fast death, they took my ring and let me live. What a shame. Former first knight overcome and robbed by low-bred damn fucking footpads. Now I can just hate myself.
You mentioned being robbed of your ring by footpads. I will bring it back to you.
I would be very grateful if you did do so. Let the Archangel Gabriel guard you with his angelic shield.
Do-do-do-do. Oh wait, I didn't just win a battle. Alright, so we got a new quest from the bum. First night bum guy. Let's continue walking around town and talking with the 7,000 inhabitants. Bloop, 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 bloop. Uh-oh. Dieter von Galbindiel.
Hail to you, brother. I am glad to meet you at last. I've heard so much about you that I pray dearly to be able to get to know you personally. Seldom has a man had the opportunity to talk with someone who was able to figure out crimes as heinous as those that were committed in Hillbrant.
Who are you, if I might ask?
Excuse me for not introducing myself immediately. I forgot my decent manners being so excited from our encounter. My name is Master Dieter von Gelbindiel, and I am the highest magister of the local chapter of Brotherhood of Righteous.
Nice to meet you, Master. I've met your companion, Master Edmund de Arvias in Hillbrant. Do you know of him?
Of course I know of Edmund, brother. We were serving together for many years as commander, and together we all promoted to masters. I'm glad you were able to prove his innocence in the end. It was irrational from the beginning to accuse him of such crimes. Edmund would never do something like that, even if some evil demon possessed his cock. You can believe me about that.
It seems that you've informed in detail about what happened in Hillbrant.
Oh yes, I know more than enough, brother. You know how it is. We're living in times where information is worth more than gold. He who doesn't know what's happening in the other part of the realm will probably meet something unpleasant during his journeys, and our order keeps appropriate information about all the important for us. You must admit that your investigation in Hillbrant was more than important. The sole fact that you, as a completely unknown paladin, led the investigation against the inquisitorial judge, and you got him to scaffold in the end, something that cannot be left unnoticed.
Well, you may be right. However, I'm discomforted by the fact so many people were informed about that Hillbrant case, even before I came to Gladsburg. After all, it happened only a few days ago.
You know, brother, certain information can spread very quickly, but I assure you that I'm one of the few people who know that you are on the mission here in Gladsburg. And in addition to that, the information will be absolutely safe with me. Rest assured that no one will get to know anything from me, and I don't have the slightest idea what your mission is here. Wink, wink. But I can say I'm very glad I could have met you personally.
What did you want to meet me so much for?
Do you think the exposure and conviction of the inquisitorial judge isn't enough?
I'm not sure if we can count this as a success, Master. It was more than a tragedy.
Yes, no doubt you're right. The inquisitorial judge convicted of heresy? What a wicked time we live in, but it doesn't lessen your merit, brother. On the contrary, your modesty proves that you are able to do great deeds without being blinded by self-praise. And just because I'd like to offer you something. And I believe you won't refuse my offer. Can you be a little bit more specific? Sure, brother. I don't know where you already familiarized with the situation at Gladsburg, but I can assure you that the situation is serious. Although it doesn't look that at first sight, I feel brimstone is boiling and smoke of hell is fuming under this quiet and calm surface. Since the scourges of God struck, people are different, very different. They either lock themselves inside their houses as if stone walls could protect them from what did affect the realm, or the others. They treacherously hatch plots and serve the idols in attempts to save themselves from the coming end of the world. You wouldn't believe what people are able to commit, as if they were totally fucking mad!
I can agree with that, but what's the matter, Master?
I'm getting to the point. As I've already said, we faced many terrible crimes here in Gladsburg since the scourges of God struck, but I assure you, brother, that it's not the same here as in Hillbrant. No matter what you've met here, it's 100 times worse here in Gladsburg. Hillbrant is situated in a wild area far in the north of the realm, and people there are ruder and simpler since their birth. No offense intended. On the other hand, Gladsburg is the second largest city in the realm. Deadly intrigues, falsehood, dissimulation rule here. Crime is much more sophisticated. Our criminals more dangerous and cunning.
Yes, that's probably true, but what does it have to do with me?
I was just about to explain it to ya. Several girls went missing in Gladsburg around long before your arrival. Very young girls. Yummy, yummy. They disappeared without a trace, and nobody has heard of them since. You can imagine what upheaval this unfortunate event caused among the people. They immediately started talking about a heretic cult rooted deeply in Gladsburg community. Members of the cult were said to drink the blood of innocent virgins during the night. Simply said, panic is rising through the city, which is rather undesirable at the moment. Can you imagine the bloodshed if the people went out in the streets? Because of the superiors from Alvaron chapter believe it's necessary to get the situation under control as soon as possible at all cost. They think it's necessary to find out the wrongdoer in short time and deliver him to justice.
I think I get your meaning, Master.
You want me to find the kidnapper, don't you? Yes, brother, you are fucking brilliant! I'm confident a man like you will have the best opportunity to find out how things really are without attracting too much undesirable attention. Thus, I decided to wait for your arrival when the Hillbrant chapter notified me you were coming. I want you to clear up those mysterious disappearances of several young girls I told you about. Gather affirmative proofs and present them to me. Pardon me, you want me to give the results of my investigation over to you, but it would look as if you revealed those crimes. Yes, exactly. If you mentioned it, I wouldn't withhold it from you. It wouldn't make sense. My heart craves to present this case as successfully solved, of course, as my own success. Thanks to that door of the main chapter of our order in Alvaron, the capital of our realm would be open to me. Probably I'd be promoted to Seneschal of Order, and it does mean everything for me at the moment. Understand, brother, I have nowhere to rise here in Glatzburg, and thus my only chance of getting a better position is to solve this case which is under the solicitous scrutiny of my superiors. You seem to be a very ambitious man, Master. There's nothing bad about it. Only a dumb man wouldn't use the possibility if he were in your situation. There's only one question about it. What's in it for me? I'm glad you take it like it is, brother. You can't lose in this bargain. Be sure about that. As I told you in the beginning, this little trade between us will bring you great reward. It's linked to your investigation. To tell the truth, I'm not totally sure what is the reason of your coming to Glatzburg, but I believe it has some connection to your Hillbrand case. You're probably searching for accomplices of Judge Valerian's murder or something like that. In that case, I can assure you that I have certain information which will make your investigation much easier. In other words, I have straight convincing evidence against one person here in Glatzburg that is nearly drowned in heresy. I'm sure that you convicting the person would mean another great jump in your career. Why don't you use that information to blame that person of heresy yourself? Surely it would help your career as well. Not necessarily, brother. You surely know that to mess things up with the Inquisition is quite a risky matter, even for the Brotherhood of Righteous. And in addition to that, I'm not sure how my superiors would react to the fact I led the investigation against that person. It's a politically sensitive matter, therefore I think it would be more suitable for you to manage. Just find out who kidnapped the girls and gather enough evidence and testimonies against him so he can be put on trial. Your proposition sounds interesting. Well, who was the person? That, of course, I'm not going to tell you, brother, at least not now. First, I want to hear the names of those girls' kidnappers and have evidence against him in my hands. Then, of course, I'll testify to you all that I witnessed some time ago. Withholding information borders with heresy these days, Master. If you have any proofs that could lead to proving a heretic guilty, give them to me immediately. No, brother, I'm sorry. If you would like to take it like this, let's pretend our dialogue never happened. However, I believe you will change your attitude. Believe me, the information would be more than interesting to you. You can't traffic in justice, Master. Your proposal is immoral, and it goes against my belief. Well, do what you want, brother, but I assure you, you will return to me. As I say, find out who it is behind those kidnappings. In exchange, I'll give you my testimony about what I saw and heard with my own eyes and ears. We'll see. But I need to talk to you for a moment about other shit. What conditions do I have to meet to be declared a master of the order? Only a commander of the Brotherhood of Righteous may become a master of Brotherhood, and only if he proves his utter loyalty to God and King and completes a task that's assigned to him. Moreover, he has to prove his courage in fighting and kill more than 250,000 infernal enemies. That's only 250. I would like to be declared Master of the Order. Really? And do you deem yourself sufficiently loyal to God and King? Do you believe you're ready to sacrifice yourself for the justice we are sworn to defend, even at the cost of our lives, etc., etc.? My goodness, those lengthy phrases are annoying. Yes, I'm ready. In that case, listen carefully, brother. I'm not sure if you've heard about it already, but the undead are walking the streets at the cities at night. You surely can imagine the panic those monstrous creatures have caused. Nobody dares to leave this house after dark, and he who does risk a very unpleasant death. I personally have put my mind to the case and found out several things that alarm me more than the presence of the undead inside the city walls. I especially noticed that there are not unusual murders committed by infernal monsters led only by the urgent lust for fresh blood. All the victims were robbed of their valuables, including brass buttons and gold teeth. At first sight, it seems the undead murdered for money. But that's pure nonsense. Undead bodies are led only by their murderous instinct and nothing else. That's why I've been so surprised by that. At first I thought the robberies are, in contrast to the murders, the work of someone else, but the testimonies of the witness speak otherwise. I couldn't believe there are some undead monsters who would intentionally collect valuables, and then I finally caught on to it. It's not the will of the undead that makes them steal, but the will of the one who summoned them into this world. There are many forbidden necromantic rites here by the heretics who are able to compel dead bodies to the new unclean life. The undead brought to this life way obey their creator and may perform certain easy tasks for him. Fortunately, the devilish ability of theirs is limited to the most basic orders. Otherwise, we couldn't be sure of anything. And that's why I'm sure there's a heretic standing behind the undead in the city, and behind their attacks on the citizens. This way the heretic tries to get wealthy.
I understand, and my task is to find the heretic, get enough evidence against him, and turn him over to justice.
Just so, brother. If you manage to do that, it'll be clear evidence you're worthy to become a master of brotherhood.
All right, I'll accomplish this task. The culprit will be caught and punished.
Very well, brother. Definitely, you don't lack courage.
Fucking A.
God is watching our deeds, brother. He's watching us, and he's getting ready for Judgment Day, when he'll pass his sentence. And that's why our faith must be stronger, and our service more zealous than ever. As the first prophet said, all that have hands must help in the building the divine kingdom of earth. And that's why I say, let us raise our swords and shields to protect this holy work, which is being destroyed by the filthy heretics right before your eyes.
You're right, brother. The time to protect what's danger has come.
Exactly. The infernal monsters are lounging at the door yard to the house of God. Heretics spit at the cross, and the first prophet in faith in the Dark Prince is stronger than the true faith in God. It's time to set spurs to our horses, and with their hooves crush all that went astray from the right path, and ignored the call of the Lord for the return to his herd.
May I ask who I'm talking to?
Knight Ethian de Pasquet, at your service. I am the Knight Commander of the local chapter of the Brotherhood of Righteous. Pleased to meet you.
Pleased to meet you.
The pleasure's all mine, brother. I'm glad you've strengthened our ranks here in Glatzberg. The conflicts between our order and the Holy Inquisition occur even here, and we must be ready for anything. I realize that there are difficult times, and many couldn't carry the heavy burden anymore and fell prey to the unjustified anger. But mutual incriminations in order to gain more power will not help. That's why I hope that the unfortunate dispute over the authority of the Brotherhood of Righteous and the Holy Office will soon be resolved by edict of His Highness, Edward II.
In whose favor do you think the king will decide, brother?
In whose favor? In favor of justice, of course. And what else should matter to the king but justice and peace for all the faithful? I'm sure his decision will follow such an aim, and whatever it will be, it will contribute to stability and victory over the heretics dancing on the grave of our faith.
The Brotherhood of Righteous should be allowed to keep all its present authority. It's always better if justice is executed by more independent institutions than mutual control is guaranteed.
Exactly, brother. The Brotherhood has been tested by time in their fight for justice. The mission has been given to us by God, and thus there is no reason to worry that we would ever use our influences to gain secular power or wealth.
Yes, just so.
I'm glad we came to agree in such an awkward question, but can you tell me what kind of mission has brought you to Glatzberg?
I'm investigating the origin of a certain mysterious scroll found on one of the heretics sentenced to death by burning in Hilbrand.
A mysterious scroll, you say? There must be a lot of them these days. Some heretic scribbles some kind of nonsense, and then he starts to kill to get humans' innards or whatever. I wouldn't want to be in your shoes, brother, but if you could find some spare time, there's something I would like to confide to you. There is a certain, well, quite an unpleasant issue. Very unpleasant for me. It's a matter of honor, you see. I was robbed, brother. I, the Knight Commander of the Brotherhood of the Righteous, called by God to protect and carry out justice, robbed by a filthy fucking thief who had no respect for my mission and my status.
What has been stolen from you?
The chain of my order, a symbol of my status. What a shame. A terrible fucking shame. May a terrible punishment strike down the one who dared to do something like that. I have no idea who it was, but I must have been an extremely agile person. I didn't notice anything and then saw it was gone. What a disgrace. A Knight Commander of the Brotherhood, robbed with the symbol of his status. I was looking for it everywhere, but without success. Now that the province has sent you, I would like to take the chance to ask you to help.
I will bring your chain back, brother. Trust me.
Oh, would you really do that for me, brother? Then I'd ever be grateful. Believe me. God bless you.
God bless you too, brother. Can I talk to you for a moment? I'm looking for heretics here in Glatsburg. Do you suspect anyone? Maybe you've seen something on your journeys.
Me? Well, I have, brother. I've seen something really disturbing. I'd be much happier if I hadn't seen anything because it worries me sick, but there's nothing I can do about it. I haven't told anyone yet because I'm afraid I could break the code of order.
You can say that to me. I am brother-in-arms.
I don't know, brother. You're my brother-in-arms, that's true, but each paladin is bound with loyalty to the crown, and I can't disobey it. If I told you what I saw, I'd risk my honor and everything I swore to obey.
I understand your reasons, brother, but please think over what is more important. Whether it's your faith you swore to protect, your honor, it is... If you must make a choice, you must choose even at the cost of self-sacrifice, just like the Holy Scripture says.
Yes, you're right. I'm going to tell you, even that the consequences of my decision will probably be terrible.
That's a wise decision. And what did you see? What did you witness?
It was a dark, stormy night, and I was returning from a campaign against the rogues that were hassling the Von Hunt residents to the city. I decided to cut across the municipal cemetery. I don't really know why. The cemetery is full of undead at night nowadays, but the night was empty. Then suddenly I heard a strange sound, as if somebody was digging in the ground. I followed the sound, then a faint light of lantern. I saw somebody digging in a grave. First I thought it was Dietrich, the gravedigger, but the silhouette didn't look like him. And then I found out the person wasn't digging, but opening a grave. I sneaked a little bit closer to see the face of a person, and when I finally saw it, my heart stopped and my testicles dropped. It was Grand Duke Robert Hedrick, the royal governor.
The royal governor? I can't believe that.
But it's true, brother. Now you probably understand why I was so reluctant to tell anyone. Grand Duke Hedrick is a representative of royal authority here in Glatsburg and a member of the Brotherhood of Righteous. I'm supposed to be loyal to him, not oppose him.
What happened next?
The Grand Duke dug out a coffin and pried out the lid with a spade. Then he took out the corpse and started fucking the dead body. It must have been a girl or boy because the body was very slender.
Why didn't you say anything? Why did you stay behind?
What was I supposed to do, brother? As a member of the Brotherhood of Righteous, I'm bound by loyalty to the royal authority, which is represented by the Grand Duke here in Glatsburg. I can't take action against him without breaking the code of order.
Thank you, brother. I can. What do you think about the crisis the realm has been dragged into?
The cause of the crisis is obvious, brother. It's the heretics. They poison the mind of people. Because of them, God has punished us by his scourges and cast his terrible malady on us. Because of the heretics, we have crowds of beasts, and evil spirits, and devils in the realm. There's only one way to stop this and return the Uthers to God's favor. Cut off the heads of all that don't follow the word of God and fornicate with demons and phantoms, whether they do it with their minds or their bodies.
What monsters and hellspawns can people meet here in Glatsburg?
If you want to know about hellspawns, you came to the right person, brother. I have a lot of personal experience with them. The scars all over my body prove it. The biggest danger nowadays are the living corpses that appear in the streets of the city as soon as it goes dark. You can certainly imagine the panic has started amongst the loyal people. Until now, everyone thought they were safe behind the city walls. If you go outside the city, beware rogues and all kinds of cutthroats waiting at the roads. They will kill you for a few pieces of gold. Wait, brother. It's not all. Whoa, shit. Wait, brother, it's not all. If you think you'd be safer to cut through the woods and the meadows instead, you are mistaken. Devils from the devil's caravans, and it won't... Devils from the devil's caverns set out of their bloody feast more and more often. No one knows what exactly they are. Some think they are devils. Some think they are humans turned to terribly scaly beasts by a curse. The truth is, they look like a crossbreed of human and lizard, as if a basilisk raped a woman, and then she gave birth to such a monster.
I'm looking for the burial chamber of a Elenian noble named Darleon. Do you happen to know where it could be located?
I've never heard of Fair Darleon, brother. I don't care about barbaric pagan history. I think they're devils and hellspawns. You should leave them alone as well if you want your soul to stay pure. If God wanted us to care about places like that, he would have let us forget them.
Anything worth mentioning happened in Glatsburg lately?
I don't know if you'd find it interesting, but the trickster, Timothin, has been finally accused of theft. The rogue was evading justice for so many years, laughing at us, and now he's done for. He was stealing in the temple, and there was a witness who saw it. He's going to be hanging by his short, fat neck, I promise. His crooked legs will be fluttering in the wind, and his body will be twitching. He deserves it, fat fuck. In the years he's spent here in Glatsburg, he's committed so many crimes that God must have condemned him a long time ago. Thefts, burglaries, frauds, and it's possible that there are even worse crimes, robberies, murderers. But the investigation will show. First we must catch him because he ran away. Coward.
Have you encountered any heretics who admitted to belong to the cult of the children of the New Order?
The children of the New Order, brother? Where did you get that?
I found the first trace of them in Hilbrand and led me right here to Glatsburg.
Really? That's strange. I thought the cult was dead. As far as I remember, it was one of the cults founded in the Empire in 9th or 10th century. And I also thought its members were all burned at stakes by the Inquisition. That's why your news is so surprising to me. You must definitely tell that to Cardinal Tranquilius, the local Curial Inquisitor, if you haven't spoken to him already.
I'm looking for Bonehard von Drickmal's hammer. Do you have any idea where it might be?
I have no idea where the famous Bonehard von Drickmal's hammer can be found, and since I'm not a treasure hunter, I don't really give a shit.
I don't give a shit either. What do you know about fallen angels?
The fallen angels are the highest demons ever to serve Satan. Together with them, they are forced out of the heavens for the crimes they committed for their conspiracy against God. There's 4 of them. Arthemon controls the downfall of destruction. Baphomet rules madness. Succubus Surdi breeds lechery. And the fallen archangel Azrael is the first emissary of Satan. It's a dangerous lot, brother, although nobody knows whether they exist.
Are you trying to question Holy Scripture?
No, brother, I'm not, but you know very well as I that you can't take Holy Scripture literally. You must interpret the text, understand them, and find their hidden meaning. So when it talks about heavenly or infernal creatures, it doesn't necessarily mean the angels and devils walk the world just like ordinary people. Many church scholars admitted in their writings that we primarily see the demonstration of higher powers, both infernal and heavenly, in those creatures of which they are essence. Therefore, it's possible that when the Holy Scripture talks of the 4 fallen angels, it really means the 4 infernal powers, although people picture them as devils, with horns, hooves, and tails.
Interesting opinion. Thank you.
You're welcome, brother, but remember that we'll never find out what the truth is. Well, at least not while we're still alive.
That's all, farewell, and that's all for this video as well. Jesus, I need to get my fucking throat a rest. See you next time with more Inquisitor.